Good evening, and welcome to the 6th Annual MAPPS Geospatial Products and Services Excellence Awards. I want to welcome all of our current members, our prospective members, and our government partners and their guests. My name is Dick McDonald, and it's my honor and pleasure to serve as the current president of MAPPS.
These awards is to showcase the outstanding work of private firms in the geospatial community.
2012 MAPPS Geospatial Products and Service Excellence Award for Project of the Year goes to Autometric.
But at the end of the day, it's the people, the production people that are in the back room that you don't get to see. They're the ones that are the heroes. They're the ones that really made this possible tonight. So Miles Straight isn't with us tonight. Many of you know Miles. He was our project manager. And then Miles was supported by a lot of other technical folks in the back that made this happen. So to them, I want to say congratulations to them as well. They made this thing happen, and the Navajo Housing Authority is further down the road with solving a lot of their geospatial problems with the services that we provided. So congratulations to all them, and congratulations to all the other winners. Thank you.
This was in fact one incredible project. One of the key things about this project is it involved funding sources from 43 separate governmental bodies and agencies. It was a unique challenge just to get that many agencies working together with different expectations, different standards, different requirements, and possibilities for their data. One of the unique things about this project is it combined all of those various funding sources and made the pot larger to pull off an incredibly large project from basically the entire coast of New England, from New York City all the way to the Canadian border. This is now going to serve many, many purposes beyond those that participated in the initial funding for shoreline, beach erosion, and yes, here this week we've even got Sandy moving in through New England and will be as a good monitor for the post-quake or damage of the hurricane. We've already heard the feedback from many of our clients. Just the mere fact that we were able to pull it off given the time of the year, given the unusual weather, given the unusual amount of rainfall that occurred, given the tide coordinations of the data, and having to move from Maine to Connecticut, back up into New Hampshire and Vermont areas, and constantly move and adjust accordingly with the weather. So overall, it was a very successful project and one that was remarkably completed in less time than we anticipated. The biggest things is this shows that projects can work together, and different agencies with very small budgets can hitchhike on a larger program or larger programs, even among various states, with a little bit of federal oversight and cooperation to get more accomplished than any one individual could individually. It involved compromising in some cases on data standards, compromising a little bit on timing, compromising in some cases on tidal control. However, in most cases where tide control was necessary for certain clients, we achieved that. Where it was not, it was relaxed. So we had to pay more attention to the very specific criteria of both the weather conditions and the tidal control for some pieces of this project, while others we were able to move about with a little more freedom and flexibility. But I think the overall goal is, look how much more can be accomplished when agencies cooperate with one another. They can still accomplish their individual goals, but the long-term effects to the taxpayer and the individuals involved is far greater.
Well, weather conditions were definitely a logistical challenge. Besides that, waves, sea state, okay, the seas were definitely rough, all right, and then because we ended up flying in late fall, which is peak lobster season, there were actually the cloud cover canopy, the if you will, was a lot lower than expected, so we ended up having to actually lower the flying height mid-project, and that actually changed, schedule, number of photos, I mean, quite a few things. So I would say that having to reschedule flights and flying plans on the fly was definitely a major challenge. They were actually, as we were, very surprised at the volume of the amount of lobster buoys. Never before had the entire coast of Maine been looked at in this way. How many lobster buoys are there at one point in time along the entire coast of Maine? We counted over 65,000. This was a huge number. So yes, I think our client was definitely pleased with the results, because now they had definitive, valuable data that they could use and backtrack into their models, into their schedules, into their what-if scenarios.
The importance of this technology is demonstrated by Hurricane Sandy hitting the Northeast. What's happening is this powerful storm is wreaking havoc on the shoreline and the cities along the ocean of America. And this sad situation is going to leave the shoreline changed for the navigational paths for ships. So there's a lot of damage and destruction. This new technology is able to, in those nearshore areas, map out the underground nature of the ocean bottom and to determine where the superior routings are for ships and crafts that move through our nation's waterways. So in the initial test that we did this, we worked closely with NOAA to be able to determine if the quality of this product is enough to meet the charting requirements for the United States of America, so that when emergency events like this happen, the nation then has the ability to use the geospatial service providers of America, as represented by the MAPPS organization, to be able to determine the shifting sands and the changes in the waterways of America, and to provide safe routes for all of our nation's navigating fleet.
I will say that the most significant challenge that we had to overcome for this project was the fact that the project covered 5 different state plane coordinate systems over 2 UTM zones. In order to overcome that challenge, we created a custom map projection that allows to provide a common operational base for all the layers in the project, from the ground control to the orthophotography to the digital elevation model. This project was developed originally only for the Navajo Housing Authority. However, having a base map on a common and single map projection enables the whole Navajo Nation to have a common geospatial infrastructure that can be used for all kinds of uses. This will serve planning for road infrastructure, planning for power, planning for agricultural uses, and other applications that are going to be significant for the development and the continued development of the Navajo Nation. The Navajo Nation has a very specific mandate, and what they want to provide is housing for the population of the Navajo Nation. That's what they are made for. However, having a common land base that is geospatial, that has a single unifying map projection, enables the Navajo Nation to really start developing a geospatial infrastructure that's going to allow them not only to use it for housing needs, but other infrastructure development needs and other planning needs. So it goes really beyond just what the Navajo Housing Authority can and remedies. It goes more into developing that particular area of the earth where the Navajo Nation lives.
I think the single biggest thing that we encountered that we didn't really anticipate was you have to remember that this project spans over 27,000 square miles. So when we put field crew out there to establish benchmarks and monuments on the ground, we were going to establish 75 scattered across that 27,000 square miles. The thing that we didn't anticipate was that over that area you can have varying weather conditions. As our crews were out, if we got rain in a particular area, given the terrain, we experienced some flash floods. We experienced in high altitude snow on one occasion. And then I think the other thing that the crews commented about several times was the fact that they ran into snakes. And while that was probably anticipated, I think that the encountering them made them a bit more cautious and apprehensive about walking around out on the field without keeping a watch out for snakes. It's not a standalone effort for NHA in any sense of the word. NHA has a mission to build houses for the Navajo people. What they are going to do, though, with their project is, and because we did establish a unified coordinate system for them, their project is in 4 states. They cover 4 states, which means they're in 4 state plane coordinate systems, and they're in 2 UTM systems. So what they envision doing by taking their entire reservation and putting that on a unified platform, they envision that not only will this ease the burden within Navajo Housing Authority, but they also envision that they're going to be able to work with other Navajo agencies, DOTs, the Navajo DOT and others to bring in geospatial data, have it fit on this particular platform, and be able to then overcome the issues of having to translate data into multiple state plane coordinate systems. So their vision is really, NHA's vision is really to become, for the Navajo, somewhat of the United States Geological Survey, where they're going to serve up geospatial data to other Navajo agencies. And it will also help them with mineral rights and utilities, private utilities and mineral companies that are coming in and accessing those resources to, again, have all that geospatial data fit on one platform and have a complete and total system where they can better manage their assets. Yes, based on the comments that we got not only from Navajo Housing Authority but also the Corps of Engineers, who was technically our client, the fact that, again, the project spans 27,000 square miles. It covers varying types of terrain, various types of vegetation, and the thing that they commented most about and were very impressed about was the fact that at the end of the day, when we put all of the images together that covered this 27,000 square miles, they were able to see it as a seamless image. That was a huge effort. They didn't anticipate that we would be able to do the color balancing and provide them with a seamless type image that we were able to. So I would say yes, it met their expectations, not only from the image quality, if you will, and the aesthetic aspects of the image, but also the fact that we were able to develop that unified projection system that will allow them to, in the future, build on those monuments that we set. And when they're out there doing additional surveying, it will serve as the foundation for that. So yes, I firmly believe that it far and away exceeded their expectations, and they were very pleased with it, quite honestly, yes. When we take on an initiative like this, it also brings on some anxiety for the team because there's a lot of unknowns. What are the pitfalls we're going to encounter? And there's always those pitfalls that even well-based plans always have some difficulties associated with them. And I can't speak highly enough for the way that the team responded. We had a great project manager in Miles Strain. He coordinated that. We had Jamie Young, Chris Holmes, a number of folks that came in and worked on this project and made this thing sizzle, worked through the issues, stayed in, and it was a bit more complicated because not only were we working with the Corps of Engineers, but we were also in communication at the same time with Navajo. So it was almost as if we had two masters. Although we were only really serving one, we were really trying to work with all parties. And again, I can't say enough for the way that the Corps handled themselves. NHA worked with us hand in hand, and at the end of the day, when we encountered problems, we sat down as a team to discuss the problem and then set a course to correct it. And again, you can't say enough for the way that the team responded. And I also have to say that we had some great subcontractors. I mean, we didn't do this on our own. We had a great team of subs. which added to Miles Strain's complications, if you will, in communicating and bringing all that together. So it was a tremendous effort. And at the end of the day, I think all of us can be very pleased and proud. And the fact that we won the award and won the overall award for the geospatial products and services speaks to that, and we can all be very proud of that.